What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for joining, thanks for watching, thanks for being here and supporting. Today's video is all about my favorite brushes. I talk about Sigma brushes a lot. They're my all-time favorite brushes. I've used them for years and years and years. They've lasted me the longest through plenty of uses, plenty of washes. And so I get asked a lot what my favorites are. So I'm going to pretty much walk you through all of my favorite brushes, how I like to use them, where I use them on the face. But before anyone asks, I did film this video, get below. So let's just jump right in and get started. I haven't really pulled any out. I'm kind of just looking at my brushes and we're just gonna start from the very beginning. So from primer. Normally I just apply my primer with my fingers, but when I'm working on clients, I actually like to apply it with a flat foundation brush like this one. This is the F60 foundation brush, and I like it because it makes it really easy to just glide and press primer into the skin where it's needed. So this brush is great for applying primer to yourself or to clients. Next up would be foundation. And my favorite foundation brush. I've talked about others, I've compared others to this one. I've even said that I might like others better, but I always come back to this one. This is the F80 from Sigma. It's the flat top kabuki brush. It's really like thick and dense, and it's flat. So I love to use this to like stipple and like press foundation into my skin. It also works really well to blend it out too. So if you want more of a sheer coverage, you can swipe it like this and blend it. If you want more full coverage, you can press it in and it just blends out beautifully. Next up would be blush. I love the F80. This is actually a large contour brush. I have two of them because I like to use this one for cream blush or powder blush actually. It works good for both. You can just press it on the cheekbones and it blends out really nicely. I think there's a little bit of product left on there, so I gotta even out my both sides. It blends really nicely. It's also great for powder bronzing, more like precise powder bronzing. If you wanna kind of chisel out the cheekbone with some powder, this works really well. So I love this brush, the F40, I have two of them. One for blush, one for bronzer. My favorite cream contour brush is this guy right here. This is the F04, and it's nice and small. It fits right there in my cheekbone, so this is what I use when I contour. I also use it for kind of an overall bronzing. It just works really well. It's nice and like, it's rounded and domed. It fits in the hollows of your cheekbones really nicely, but if you're doing like an all over bronze and you wanna hit more space, you can press it and it does like fan out, and so it covers more areas. I just like it, especially with creams where you need to be more precise. Next up is concealer, and I have a couple different favorites for different reasons. So the first one is this 3D HD Precision brush. To be honest, it's not like technically a concealer brush. I think it would work best for like precise nose contouring, but I love this brush for blending out my under eye corrector. I usually use Terracotta Blush Sense as an under eye corrector, and I love this brush for blending that out. It just fits there nicely and it's dense, so it puts product in place rather than like blending it out and really shearing it out. It just keeps it in place but blends it nicely. This little guy, this is the E46. It's actually an inner corner shader brush for your eye, which it works great for that, but I love it for spot concealing different areas of the face. This works really nicely. And then my under eye highlight concealer, also my face highlight and concealer are these. This is like my go-to duo. This is the F75, and I use this to mix up my concealer and then to apply it right here underneath my eyes and the center of my face. And then I use my F64 to blend it out. I like to apply with one brush and blend with the other. It just works better that way. I feel like applying with one brush and blending with the other helps to soak up any excess product and really blends it out nicely. So this is my like go-to duo for concealer. This also has a little bit of a taper, and so it fits right under there really nicely. So you get like a good blend all right here, but then it also fits right in there in that inner corner. And then I also use it all over the center of my face. Next up would be this brush. This is the F35. I have two of them because I use this for a couple different things. I use it for applying powder right here underneath my eyes and also on the center of my face to set my highlight / concealer. I love this brush because it's pointed, it fits right under there nicely. It's just great. But I also like to use it for highlighter. So when I'm applying cream and powder highlighter, this works beautifully for just right there on my cheekbones. So I like to have two. That way I'm not having to clean it off every time. So I use one for powder and one for highlighter. This guy has been a recent favorite of mine. Recently, I dumped all of my natural powder into a large powder container, and I've been using this to set my entire face with it. I just love how big and fluffy and full it is. It just covers so much area really quickly. So I've been using this for powder. This is the F30 large powder brush. All right, let's move on to eyes. This is the place that I could spend all day talking about brushes. If I had to pick one brush, only one brush that I could use for the rest of my life, it would be this one, the F35. I have like 10 of them and I use them so much. So I mostly use it on the eye, but you could use it in other places of the face. This is just like my baby. It's so much my baby that like the name has worn off the handle. I just love it so much. The main thing I use it for is applying Mocha Java right in there to my crease, but it also works well to blend color out all over the crease. Sometimes I'll just use this to run product underneath my lash line. You could use it to blend out concealer. You could even use it for like precise contouring. I mean, it's just such a good standard brush for everyone. If you had to just get one brush, I would recommend this one hands down. E35. My second favorite eye brush is the E25. It's similar to the E35 in that it's nice and fluffy, but as you can see, it's flatter. So it's really nice for packing on color on the outer corner, then precisely bringing it into the crease. It puts color in the crease really nicely and blends it out without like wisping it out everywhere. It's nice for applying very precise areas, but still blending. It's also really great for putting color all over the lid. I love this. This is the E25. Next up is this shader brush. This is the E55, and I love this one for packing color all over the lid as well. I like using the E25 when I want less concentration of color, when I just kind of like want a sweep of color. But when I really want to pack on the color, if I'm looking for a really intense dark look or like intense shimmer, I like to use this brush because it's not so much a blending brush, but it's a lot flatter and stiffer, so it's really great to pack on the color. And then you'll want to go in with another brush to blend out the edges. Okay, moving to the eyeliner. For eyeliner, the E11 is my all-time favorite eyeliner brush. It's very well loved. It's a really tiny kind of pencil brush. Not pencil brush. It's a really tiny, almost like a paintbrush. It works really, really well to just draw on the perfect wing. This is my go-to eyeliner brush. Another brush that I love to use for eyeliner, I like to use this one when I want just a smoked out eyeliner look. This is the E21 smudge brush, and it's really great for just smudging out some color along your upper or your lower lash line. This is also a great brush to use on the inner corner to apply your inner corner highlighter. So this is just a really good brush to have in your arsenal. This is the E21. Another favorite brush for the eyes is this E30. This is great. This is what I use every single day for this inner corner brightening. I used it today to apply snow to my inner corners. It's also good for underneath the brow bone highlighting. I also use it to run product underneath my lower lash line. It's not super fluffy. It is more dense, so it's good for keeping the color close to the lash line. To really blend out and diffuse color underneath your lower lash line, I love this E36. It's basically the same brush as my trusty E35, just smaller. So it's a lot smaller. It's really great for running underneath your lower lash line to really blend out and smoke out the color. It's also good for more precise application of color on your lids. For eyebrows, I like this trio. So I use this brush. This is the E80 to brush out my brows before and after applying color. I like to brush them out before to make sure I don't have any foundation in my brows, and then also I brush them out afterwards to make sure everything's all blended and nice and there's no harsh lines. And then I use this brush every single day to apply my brow color. It's the E65, it's an angle brush. Some people use it as eyeliner. I don't love it for eyeliner, but I absolutely love it for my brows. And then this brush, I like this for a couple different things. This is the E15 brush, and it's a flat definer brush. So you can use it, you could actually use this to draw on your brows. It's a little bit too wide for me, but it's nice, it covers a lot of space. I like this for either pressing up color right into my lower lash line, if I want like a darker, harsher line on my lower lashes. But I also love it for carving out my brows. If I want to go the extra mile and use concealer underneath and over top of my brows to kind of really carve them out and define them, this brush is so perfect for that. Okay, so that is it. All of my favorite brushes here in this little tub. It is kind of a lot, but I did mention the multiple ways that you can use specific ones, so hopefully you can whittle it down. I will list them all in the description bar below, and I also have a coupon code for you that'll be listed down there as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Brushes are like my obsession. I love makeup brushes, and out of all the makeup brushes I have, the majority of them is Sigma. So I truly do believe in them. I love them. They are my favorite. So anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you want to see more, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. What's up, everyone? Why did I do that? And then this brush, I like this brush for a couple different things. This is the, oh, this isn't even the right one.